Jaya Gopi Janavallabha Jaya Girivaradari Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Bihari Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Jaya Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Shri Radha Madhava ki jai. Okay, so we are reading from chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita as it is, verse 29. Correct. Okay, here we are. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Thank you. We read the verse. Prakrite guna samuddaha sajante guna karmasu Tanna Krishna vido mandan Kritsna vinna vichalajet. Prakrite guna samuddaha sajante guna karmasu Tana Kritsna vido madan Kritsna vinna vichalayet. Prakrite guna samuddaha sajante guna karmasu Tana Kritsna vido mandan Kritsna vinna vichalayet. Please. Prakrite guna sammuda sajate guna karmasu Tana Kritsna vido mandan Kritsna vinna vichalayet. Prakrite guna sammudaha sajjante guna karmasu Tana kritsna vido mandan Krishna vidna vichalayet Prakriter guna sammuda Sajante guna karmasu Tanna kritsna vido mandan Kritsna vinna vichalayet. Thank you. Let's do word for word. Prakriti of material nature. Guna by the modes. Sammudaha befooled by material identification. Sajjante they become engaged. Guna karmasu in material activities. Tan those. Akritsna vidaha persons with a poor fund of knowledge. Mandan lazy to understand self-realization. Kritsnavit one who is in factual knowledge. Okay. Na, not. Vichalayet should try to agitate. Okay. Translation and purport by I.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fool, I think it's the ignorant fool, I will come back. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. Purport. Persons who are unknowledgeable, falsely identify with gross material consciousness and are full of material designations. This body is a gift of material nature, and one who is too much attached to the bodily consciousness is called manda, or a lazy person without understanding of spirit soul. Ignorant men think of the body as the self. They accept bodily connections with others as kinsmanship, the land in which the body is obtained in their object of worship, and is their object of worship. And they consider the formalities of religious rituals to be ends in themselves. Social work, nationalism, and altruism are some of the activities for such materially designated persons. Under the spell of such designations, they are always busy in the material field. For them, spiritual realization is a myth, and so they are not interested. Those who are enlightened in spiritual life, however, should not try to agitate such materially engrossed persons. Better to prosecute one's own spiritual activities silently. Such bewildered persons may be engaged in such primary moral principles of life as non-violence and similar materially benevolent work. Men who are ignorant cannot appreciate activities in Krishna consciousness. And therefore, Lord Krishna advises us not to disturb them and simply waste valuable time. But the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord, because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they undertake all kinds of risks, even to the point of approaching ignorant men to try to engage them in the acts of Krishna consciousness, which are absolutely necessary for the human being. Joy. So we pray, from the Mangala Charan, which is at the very beginning, at the introduction of Bhagavad Gita. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Svapadamtikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Aripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gora Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna. Okay, thank you so much for being here, dear devotees. I'll read again the translation of the verse, yeah? It's from chapter 3, verse 29. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them, although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. Okay, so I would like to start. I always go back to this version. It's Bhagavad Gita as it is further explained. Basically, it's from the lectures that Srila Prabhupada gave on the verses. So, okay, we have the purport, but sometimes there's extra, because of course, if we go to the recordings, Srila Prabhupada spoke about, in a further way about these verses, and this verse is there, So I was like, yeah, let's read it. So he lectured on text 29 in Los Angeles in 1968. So we can find it if we want, Why not? And so I will read this, and then I will basically tell you what I made some notes from another lecture of His Holiness Kadamba Swami Maharaj on this verse. So yeah, so this is gonna be how I will proceed. Okay, the first Srila Prabhupada. Krishna said that the devotees should not disturb the attached materialists, but devotees are so kind that they take all kinds of risk. For example, Nityananda Prabhu took great risk and Lord Jesus Christ took all risk. Therefore, a devotee is more kind than God. A devotee is more merciful than God himself. We should always remember this. Therefore, Krishna says, Madbhakta Purija Vyadika. Anyone who worships my devotee worships me more than worshipping me directly. That means that he appreciates the worship of his devotee more than the worship of himself. Actually, devotees are so kind. Krishna says, don't disturb those who are too much absorbed in material consciousness. But devotees take the risk, even at the cost of their lives. Therefore, the devotee is so dear to Krishna. That will be explained in the 18th chapter. Nobody in human society is more dear to me than the person who takes all risks for preaching God consciousness. Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Okay, so now I will, His Holiness Kadambakara Maharaj gave a lecture. It's online actually, you can find it's a video from the 4th of August 2020. He gave it for ISKCON Berlin. So, okay, I thought it's relevant. We are in Germany, why not? So he gave many points, so bear with me. I made the points, made my notes, lots of notes. And so we will try together, then, of course, I will try also to put some realization in my little ability, And I have also another book from His Holiness Kadambakara Swami, Forever Present, because some, really, when he spoke, he really reminded me of the book because there are many points also here. So maybe, if we have time, we will go through that also. Okay, so let's start. Okay. Yes, so the first point he made in the lecture was not to push people with lack of knowledge to suddenly renounce material activities. That's the principle that comes in the verse, basically. Okay, I will read it again if you want. Bewildered by the modes of material nature, the ignorant fully engage themselves in material activities and become attached. But the wise should not unsettle them, and although these duties are inferior due to the performer's lack of knowledge. So here it is. Lack of knowledge is there. And, Maharaj was saying how we should not, anybody should not push anybody else, actually. But in this case in particular, to suddenly renounce material activities, to go and practice devotional service immediately. It's better, Maharaj said, it's better to engage them in what is known as Agyata Sukriti. I don't know if you've ever heard of this term, Agyata Sukriti. Oh. Okay, yeah, Heidi, something new? Something new, okay, very good. Okay, let's talk about it. So, Maharaj explained, we make sure that they make spiritual advancement initially by performing some activities that are very conducive to then advance. For example, I see the Sankirtan devotees in front of me. So what do they do when somebody doesn't want to get a book? Doesn't want to give a donation for the book? they try to engage this person anyway in some other activities. For example, some donation, yes, you can give a donation, yeah, or chanting the mantra, absolutely. Oh, giving prasada, very good, yes, you know everything, eh? Well, it's simply dancing also, yeah, on arena, isn't it? Yeah, it's also initial, step. Why not, you know? And there are many other things. I don't know if you have any other ideas, please share, because now this come to mind, especially. Well, if I could think about myself, well, they definitely gave me, I remember they gave me a card with the mantra. You know, this was still in Italy when I was a university student. And then, of course, I was, a lot of prasada. A lot of They gave me so much prasada. And eventually, I got a chant and be happy. Hare Krishna, yes. And then I read it very nicely. I remember I was in Australia still, in Melbourne. And then, slowly, I made friends with it. And I went to the temple, I remember. There, I remember very nice. I was there for these special people. I was very intrigued. But, if I can be honest with you, I didn't see the deities. I went I went in the temple in front, and I didn't see them. Really, I was so really covered by the, I don't know, modes of ignorance. I'm sure. So I was there. I even took pictures. I have the pictures, but I didn't see them. I really didn't see them. Later on, I was like, oh, wait a minute. I took pictures, and now, of course, I learned all the story of the deities, so there is more connection there. So, but just to let you know, yes, this Agyata Sukriti is really the first initial steps. Okay, very good. So then, what Kanambakara Maharaj says in his lecture is, mood of compassion. Yeah, is bringing this, of course, we need to have compassion, and that invokes patience. We need to ask ourselves, where are they? So where are these people that we meet? They lack of knowledge, We need to provide a suitable step that makes Krishna consciousness relevant to them. How is Krishna consciousness relevant in their immediate situation? That's the question that Kanambakara makes in his lecture. So, yes, he was saying also that if we start speaking to them about the spiritual world, descriptions of Krishna Lila or the activities of Krishna, that is very, very far from them in that moment, and it's not relevant to their immediate situation in their daily lives. So we need to talk to them about something relevant. Yeah, relevant to them. And this is the art of the Sankirtan devotees that are in front of me, by the way. Internet audience, they are packing beautifully these Bhagavad Gitas and other amazing literature, and so yes, so they know yes, I'm looking at you. So if you have any, how do you approach somebody that on the street? What's the question normally? Are you from here or are you from... Very good, yeah, very relevant, yeah, that's it, where are you from, basically, yeah? Where are you from? Yes, I remember in my old days, I also was asking, are you stressed today? You look stressed, because my big, let's say, experience of Sankirtan was in London. from 2017 2019, so that is like it's big, lots of people, a lot of people, to stop them from running here and there is not easy sometimes. So we were trying a lot of things. Yes, mainly stress was a good point for them, because they were definitely, they call it rat race. I don't know if you've ever heard this slang. It's imagine the little hamster running in the wheel, yeah? Yes, it's never ending. So, yes, for them, stress was definitely relevant topic. Okay, then let's see what Kadambakara Maharaj says. Another very nice point he makes is that the devotees of the Lord are kind. And we need to remember also that Krishna looks at a larger time frame. What is one life? That's Maharaj giving this question. But we are giving importance here and now. Krishna is more patient. He sees, this is just one life of millions of lives, But the point Maharaj is making is that the devotee is more involved and identifies with the conditioned souls. Therefore, he tries to make arrangement here and now to lift people up and really give them this transcendental knowledge. Because even if they don't perceive it immediately, it is relevant to them. Yeah, I don't know if you have Shri Pralalakshmi Narasimhade Bhagavan Ki Jai. Yes, I'm sure now, you can see you are reading your Bhagavad Gita and you find in your life how this knowledge can really help you practically. Yeah, just today this verse is a verse for the Sankirtan, isn't it? Don't unsettle the people with lack of knowledge, isn't it? Yeah. So, and more this will become clear, I really pray also for myself, I have to say, how I really need to understand how important this knowledge is, really, practically in our lives. Okay, another point. Please stop me if you want to make a question, It's a discussion now, because basically I'm giving you the points and that I really find, of course, nectarian. And so then the meditation goes deeper. Kadambakara Maharaj speaks about pure devotional service. He says, pure devotional service is a state where a devotee is with Krishna and lives with great happiness with him. At that stage, he can show compassion, which is rarely attained. And he says, where in this world is this compassion? Yes. So he's saying, he's then introspecting, and he's saying that we are lacking compassion. Yes, I totally, I'm there totally. I lack of compassion. Yes, in my meditation, then I can add, this is from personal reflection. I lack compassion because mainly compassion, I give compassion when I want, to whom I want, when I feel like, right? When I get the vibe, no, come on. But I then tell myself, oh, come on, compassion is for everybody. Like love is for everybody. If he has to be love, right? If you just want to love one person, right? No, doesn't make sense. Love has to be for everybody. This is the real, the real teaching. So he says, what do we have to offer anyway? Of our own, not much, but whatever we received from Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas. Yes. Here it is, so then, in our little, really, I'm going back down because, of course, these are words from an exalted servant of Srila Prabhupada. Yes, we don't have much to offer. But, if we can at least really, like the Sankirtan devotees are doing, giving out a book, give a nice word, just give a good impression is also very important, so that these people then can really receive the mercy of Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas. Yes, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Then, I would like to read, because here in this beautiful lecture, it's so nectarian, Kanamakarna Maharaj reads from his own notes. So I will read it for you. Really, I wrote down every single word, and it's beautiful passage we can meditate on together. The relationship between compassion and humility is that only one who is humble has nothing of his own to give. We can only give Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. How can we think that we are in the position to help anyone else when we ourselves need as much help from Krishna as they need? But the servant of Krishna is fortunate because the curtain of ignorance has been lifted from his eyes. In this way, he can give others what he has heard from the Acharyas about Krishna and whatever he has realized himself. We are never seen anyone more compassionate than Srila Prabhupada, who worked tirelessly in old age exclusively for the benefit of others. Who did more than Srila Prabhupada? Who was more compassionate than Srila Prabhupada? Who was more generous? He gave himself. He gave everything he had to the last drop. Whoever saw him doing anything for himself? Compassion means to forget everything about oneself. Can we do it? We are praying to Guru and Gauranga, praying to Vasudev Datta, to Rupa and Sanatan, to Srila Prabhupada. By their mercy, miracles can happen. Very powerful word. Yes. What can we say, Of course, we need to really meditate on compassion. I want to give you some other points that Karamakarna Maharaj gave. I find them really somehow really, Maharaj was always, he wanted to shake the barrel, no, you say in English, we really need to challenge, yes, we need to challenge ourselves, not to stay, in the comfort zone, of course, as a sannyas. Maharaj was really out there. So he was saying, to develop a compassionate mentality is not easy in the age of Kali, because we are self-centered, and it's difficult to practice bhakti. Then he gave beautiful quote from Srimad-Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, verse 10, where it says, O learned one, in this iron age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. So he really pointed out this, always disturbed, always concerned about ourselves. Very true, yes. This really stops, it's an obstacle in front of our wish or yes, wish, I would say, wish to be compassionate, to develop compassion for everybody. That's basically the opposite, no? Opposite of compassion is self-centeredness, thinking only about ourselves, our needs, what we want, clear, right? The problem is this age of Kali is difficult. We need to be aware of this. And this always disturbed, I really can relate to. I have the disturbance number 1 in my pocket. I don't know you, but this technology, oh yes, of course. Even if I use it, to listen to the lectures, and then there is always the other side of it. Is so easy to get distracted from an advert or other lectures of other topics, and anyway, and then my mind goes, oh yes, I have to check this thing, then I have to go, and oh yeah, it's like oh yeah. So this really, I have to really personally understand, okay, come on, is it really necessary? So yeah, like this, but definitely always disturbed. Okay, so then Maharaj points out how to rise about such conditioning of self-centeredness. He gives a beautiful answer. It is the very process of Sankirtan. Joy. Reaching out to others in compassion. This is the process which is able to make the change. Very nice. So, yes. As he quotes Adi Leela, chapter 8, Chaitanya Charitamrita, in his own words. As we are distributing the fruits of love of Godhead, and we are giving away what we have, we find that we have more than we had before. Yes. Sharing the mercy multiplies. This is one of Kanammakana Maharaj's very strong statements, and it's imprinted here. So remember, if you share the mercy multiplies. And you all Sankirtan devotees, I've seen you, you know it, yeah? You have experienced how much just giving a book, giving a good impression, meeting the persons, then, somehow or other, there are unexplainable situations in which you're like, wow, Krishna is really protecting me, is guiding me in my life. So think about it. If you want to share, please, we are here. I'm now thinking about many occasions in which, like, for example, I got lost a couple of times. And once I was working like in a really like small village in England. I found a job, and I was like, I really want to go back to London to be with the devotees, and the Sankirtan party arrived right there, and I was like, what? Wait a minute, and so I brought all my colleagues and they got a book from the fantastic brahmacharis, and I was like so happy, and really like Krishna reciprocates like in incredible ways. Who could have thought, I was like really like in a small village, there was not much going on, and normally they stay in London because there's a lot going on. But now they decided to travel like this, and so it was such a surprise for me. But at the same time, I was like, yeah, of course, this is Krishna. So, yeah. And then, okay, Kanammakana Maharaj says, by giving away, we are gaining Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, it is difficult to really take up welfare work for the benefit of others. Yes, this is the principle. Yes, so then he says how, in practice to do it. He points out, initially, we do Sankirtan under the direction of the senior devotees and Guru. Soon, we come back to our personal needs. The austerity to go and reach out for others will become very difficult to maintain. So, there are personal issues, because it is difficult to rise above this self-centeredness. Yeah, so this I find very humbling, So it's yeah, you do something. There will be a time, though, that you need to go back, in order to see, okay, what do I need to do with my life? I find very reassuring also, because it's normal. It is like, okay, because as he said before, in Kali Yuga, we're very disturbed. Self-centeredness is really, everything is pointing to that. I don't know if you notice that. But they really push, the person to think about only himself. Even, I've seen, yes, this is my recent experience. Even families are pushed to split up. They're pushing the families to break up, because they are telling, the man, but I am this child and this wife are a burden to your development, to your enjoyment. In the end, that's the end of it. Yeah. And the same they tell to the wife, this husband, and then, of course, they end up breaking up. And it's disaster, and a lot of suffering. And then these people might, find... look, I'm really right now with a friend of mine from university in this situation. And, but I found in her really the strength to say, okay, this is my chance also to go deeper in spiritual life. And she reached out to me, and I was like, yeah. Like, oh, wow, who thought, because, yeah, I mean. But she knew that I was very serious in my spiritual life. I gave up the career that... eventually she followed instead. So, somehow now we are close again, in our paths. So that's, very humbling and very teaching, So, so again, then Karamakaran Maharaj says in the lecture, if we remain connected to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's desire to give transcendental knowledge to others, then we are getting benefit and we become Uda Radihi. This is from Srimad-Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 3rd chapter, 10th verse. Uparadihi means with broader intelligence. Okay, so really our intelligence matures in a higher way. So we are not anymore Kshudratma, that's an amazing term. Small-minded man, that means, which is concerned only with his own little world. We want though to grow and see that we are not meant to just take care of ourselves. Yeah. That sounds really... when he said it, I was like, yeah, this is survival. Yeah? This is really like animal. Animal is thinking about survival, yeah? And enjoying eventually, but for himself, yeah? But we are not meant for that. We are meant to adopt the welfare of the world. So living in that spirit of giving everything for the welfare of the world, then we become very blissful and our lives becomes very exciting. Our own little struggles are there, but they go in the background. Yeah, that's really, yeah. If you like to check the lecture, I was writing a lot, but yeah, I can express so far, of what Maharaj was wanting to say, but really these points really touched me a lot. And then he again repeated these notes that he took, how compassion means to forget all about oneself. It's really high level. But yeah. Then he was asked, how can we, because this compassion cannot be taught. No, they were asking him, you cannot teach compassion. But he said we can be compassionate. So the point is we can practice compassion. We cannot teach to others, we can practice though, and be an example of compassion, in our own lives. Definitely being part of the Sankirtan movement. And now the marathon is here already, yeah? We're already in the marathon, yeah? In the winter marathon, or is starting? And now with the summer. It's preparation, okay, very good. Yes, but it's already started because, packing already the books, it's there, yeah? We are there, we can feel it. So, yeah, what else can I tell you? We have 5 minutes. I don't know, I think it's enough, yeah? Because I have many notes, I tell you. So many notes. Yeah, like the very last one, if you like, is he said, we cannot expect that people will directly change, but we can engage them. Yeah, if you like to take this point in your heart, because this verse is about this. People lack of knowledge. We cannot unsettle them. Unsettle means trouble them or tell them, oh, look, what are you doing? You fallen conditioned soul. Yeah, you understand. Yeah, you understand very well. This is not the way. Vaishnava is compassionate. Yeah, that's the way. And yes, if you have any points, questions, realizations, there's so much to say. But I feel like, yeah, we are good. We are good. We touched the main points. And thank you so much for being here. Yes, please, question? I know, it's a lot to think about. I understand. Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, thank you for the lecture. So you said, of course, it's not appropriate for most of the people, I guess, to tell them about Leelas or anything, of course. But in case if someone is really interested, should we maybe tell something about?
Very good.
More about Krishna?
That's a very good point. Yes, I mean, definitely there are souls out there that already, had experience or maybe already had met the devotees, In this sense, if they already have, maybe they already read the books, so, you never know who you meet. So, if then you have this specific encounter with this person and are very interested and show you really the, the will and the good, how do you say in English? Predisposition, yeah, you understand? When you're well predisposed to hear about Krishna, then why not? Why not, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it is important. Yes, you will see, Manuel, when you go out with the very expert Sankirtan devotees, they really can immediately understand, or in a few questions, really understand who they are talking to, where is this person right now, and then really catch them, like yes, really catch them where they are, and really help them. So yeah, this is at least what I, my perception, or what I saw also in my limited experience. But yeah, yes, I'm very confident like that. Yeah, thank you. Please, thank you, Suval Gopal.
Hare Krishna, Mother.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about the point of disturbances at the moment, especially in the mind, more the small disturbances, situations, or interactions with devotees and general people. So what would you suggest, like in the mind? Should one talk about this with a devotee friend maybe, or can one just change the thoughts in itself maybe about a certain situation? Maybe have some practical advice like that.
Thank you so much. This is very important question. Yes, so I would say, it's also very relevant to me. Yes, I can share with you after the departure of Kanama Maharaj. We disciples, got a bit shake. And the mind, in my case, personal case, really, I was like, I really, by myself, I think that would not be bearable. Yeah, was very overwhelmed, and so in that case, I really doubted also. That's still there. I'm working on it. The very big very issue for me was that I didn't value my service. Does it make any sense? It's really lamentation, huh? I was really lamenting. What am I doing? Without the physical presence of my spiritual master, is it worth it anyway that I carry on? Because I'm so insignificant. Yeah, this. If I hear it now, this voice, I laugh because I really, it's totally, it's totally from a place of lamentation. Like Arjuna when he put down the bow and the arrows, and I said, no, I don't want to fight anymore. No, I don't want to compare myself to Arjuna. Careful. No, but this the feeling, yeah, that the sensation. Of course, Arjuna is there for teaching us, yeah. So then, eventually, yes, I would say reach out. This is my experience, and of course, take some time. I would say also very personal experiences. Be cautious. Haribol. Shri Narasimhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. We can find advice, but we need to be cautious. And we really need to connect with the senior Vaishnavas that really are, compassionate and understanding. And yes, otherwise, really personally, I would say I could not get out of this big obstacle. Yeah. That is in the mind, definitely. It's about the mind. And so, yeah, for little things, of course, the community is so helpful. You're just an amazing community of devotees. And, if you face bigger obstacles, then we can pray really, with humility to the lotus feet of Shri Prahlad Lakshmi Narasimhadev Bhagavan Ki Jai. Is most merciful form of the Lord, is, with all these weapons, ready to help us, and help me arrives. Help comes. Help comes if we are sincere, and when we are ready, help comes. Thank you so much. Let's sing Gurarti. Jai. Srimad-Bhagavatam Gita ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.